Cordelia, the youngest daughter of King Lear, stands as one of Shakespeare's most compelling embodiments of integrity, moral clarity, and tragic innocence. Although she appears in only a few scenes, her presence resonates throughout the entire play. Cordelia's refusal to flatter her father, her unwavering loyalty despite being wronged, and her untimely death form the emotional and ethical core of King Lear. Role in the narrative. Cordelia's narrative function is crucial despite her limited stage time. The play's central conflict is set into motion by her honest refusal to participate in Lear's love test. While Goneril and Regan exaggerate their affections to secure land and power, Cordelia speaks plainly, "I cannot heave my heart into my mouth." Her decision stems not from defiance but from sincerity. She refuses to reduce genuine love to rhetoric. Lear's pride, vanity, and insecurity interpret her honesty as coldness, leading him to disown her. This impulsive misjudgment fractures the kingdom, foreshadowing political chaos and familial tragedy. Cordelia thus becomes the catalyst for the unfolding drama. Her banishment enables Goneril and Regan to consolidate their power, revealing their cruelty, hypocrisy, and ambition. Meanwhile, Cordelia's absence amplifies her symbolic value, as multiple characters, including the Fool, Kent, and eventually Lear himself, invoke her name as a representation of truth and goodness. Her return in Act 4 marks a turning point in Lear's development. When she reunites with her father, their relationship undergoes a profound transformation. Lear, humbled by suffering and madness, finally recognizes her value, calling himself a very foolish fond old man. Their reconciliation scene serves as the emotional climax of the play, offering a moment of grace and redemption. Tragically, Cordelia's subsequent execution in Act 5 extinguishes the fragile hope her return had inspired, embedding the play's bleak vision of injustice. Symbolic significance. Cordelia stands as the moral center of the play. Her plain, honest speech contrasts sharply with her sister's manipulative eloquence. Shakespeare uses her to symbolize sincerity that does not seek reward. This alignment with truth makes her a counterpoint to the deceit that fuels the play's tragic outcomes. Her famous line, "Nothing," becomes both thematic and symbolic. It reflects her refusal to flatter but also foreshadows the nothingness Lear descends into: loss of power, sanity, and familial bonds. Yet paradoxically, her "nothing" carries the most meaning. It suggests that authentic love cannot be quantified. Through this paradox, Cordelia symbolizes the reliability of truth, even when it appears empty in comparison to false extravagance. Cordelia's moral steadfastness is central to her symbolism. She stands firm in her principles, even in the face of extravagant falsehoods. Her integrity makes her appear almost saint-like. Some critics see her as a Christ figure whose suffering and death reflect the sacrifices of goodness in a fallen world. Still, Shakespeare avoids portraying her as simplistic. Her firmness can be interpreted as both admirable and risky. Her inability, or refusal, to compromise contributes to the escalating conflict. This complexity enhances her symbolic resonance as the embodiment of moral purity operating within a world hostile to virtue. Cordelia symbolizes natural bonds of affection and loyalty. Her relationship with Lear represents the rightful, harmonious family order that should govern the kingdom. Her disinheritance is thus not only a personal injustice but a symbolic disruption of the natural order. The chaos that ensues, civil war, madness, betrayal, reflects how far the world has fallen from harmony once she is banished. Her return from France signifies an attempt to restore order. Unlike her sisters, whose ambitions fracture the kingdom, Cordelia seeks healing and reconciliation. Her defeat and death, then, underscore the tragic impossibility of restoring order in a world corrupted by ambition and folly. Her return with the French army further reveals her psychological strength. She moves from a wronged daughter to a leader who acts out of duty rather than revenge. Notably, she does not seek to reclaim land or punish her sisters. Her goal is to rescue her father. Broader implications. Cordelia's refusal to embellish her speech challenges the conventions of a courtly culture that values eloquence as a tool of influence. Shakespeare uses her to critique the dangerous gap between speech and intention, one of the play's central themes. In a world where verbal manipulation equates to political gain, Cordelia's authenticity becomes a form of political subversion. Her character also engages questions of gender. Cordelia embodies the traditionally feminine virtue of gentleness, but also displays agency and moral strength typically associated with male heroic figures in Shakespeare's time. Her leadership in Act 4 challenges the patriarchal assumption that women must act within limited emotional or social roles. Cordelia's death has long troubled audiences and critics. Her goodness does not protect her, suggesting a world in which justice is arbitrary or absent. Shakespeare uses her fate to explore the unsettling possibility that virtue cannot guarantee safety. Cordelia's fate thus carries broader philosophical weight. If the purest character in the play dies senselessly, what hope remains for justice? Shakespeare offers no definitive answer, but Cordelia's character forces the audience to confront the limitations of human morality in a chaotic world. Despite the tragedy, Cordelia provides the play's most hopeful moments. Her forgiveness of Lear is unconditional. Her compassion leads to Lear's emotional healing and self-awareness. This brief redemption underscores the transformative power of genuine love, even though it cannot ultimately prevent tragedy. In this sense, Cordelia's role operates on two levels. She is both a victim of the world's cruelty and a source of emotional restoration. Her presence reveals humanity's capacity for grace, even in the darkest circumstances. Conclusion. Cordelia's character, though understated, shapes the emotional and thematic core of King Lear. Her honesty catalyzes the plot, her absence intensifies the kingdom's moral collapse, and her return offers a fleeting but profound redemption. Symbolically, she embodies truth, virtue, and natural harmony, standing in stark contrast to the deception and corruption around her. Psychologically, she represents emotional maturity and moral courage. Her tragic fate underscores the play's grim exploration of justice, human suffering, and the vulnerability of goodness. Ultimately, Cordelia reveals the fragile beauty of integrity in a world governed by pride, ambition, and chaos. Shakespeare uses her to remind audiences that truth and love may be quiet, but they are powerful, and that their loss carries devastating consequences.